Okay, so I practiced this speech last night with my boyfriend, and he did not laugh at any of my jokes. So you guys better laugh, because if you don't, I'm screwed. I did have a slideshow, but I don't even need it. I can just talk to you guys about it. It's all good. So, oh, great. It sucks anyway, so like whatever. How do I go next? I don't even know. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, I did change this because I was going to say, why am I here? And I deleted I'm cool. Just joking. I am cool. I promise. I really am. You guys are all like, why is she here? Oh my God, this is so boring. Okay. Yeah. You know, honestly, I questioned myself the same thing. You know, why am I here? Why ask a journalist to come and talk at this type of presentation? There's a lot of people who work in this industry. There's a lot of advertisers, people who work in companies, people who are working in the tech space. And honestly, like, I bring a different perspective, and it's because I interview so many people who are either going through a digital transformation or who have undergone a digital transformation. And so I want to first tell you, the word digital transformation is like the crappiest term ever. Like, it sucks. As a journalist, I'm telling you, it sucks. It means nothing to me. It's like the biggest buzzword ever. And so I was thinking about, you know, what does digital transformation really mean to me? And I look back in the early 2000s, and I just have a couple of stats, but you guys already know this. Like, Apple came out in 2007. Whoops. Oh my God, what am I doing? What? Did something happen? Okay, yeah. Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing. See, there you go. I did not practice this at all. Anyways, yeah, so I've heard from a lot of tech companies and people, and so for me, I hate that word digital transformation because I don't really understand what that means. But in my head, when I think about it, I think about how a company is either changing or how a company is using the digital tools necessary to become better. So either you're giving the tools for companies to become better at what they do, or you're trying to digitally transform your own company. So in that sense, I think right now we're going through a second wave of a transformation. So if we go back to 2000, you know, we have Apple coming out in 2007, the first iPhone, Uber in 2009, Twitter in 2006, Facebook in 2004, and really these companies were like, yeah, the internet, like, let's capitalize on that, let's like do something great. So they were like capitalizing on this. They digitally transformed their companies, and they created these companies. And now they're like, okay, well, we've created these things. What can we offer more? So Uber's like, let's do Uber Eats. Let's do Uber Shopping. Amazon's like, let's do Amazon Grocery. Because like, you need to go to the next level. And so these companies are like making that next transition. And so when I'm talking to these bigger companies, like I was talking to Twitter, and they're looking at how can we use, you know, like this form of technology to connect people from around the world, but like on another platform. So they're looking at digital transformation in this second wave of what's next, what's coming next. And so I look at it and I'm like, okay, you're either asking two questions as a company. You're either asking yourself, do I need to digitally transform myself and get on the same level playing field as all these other companies? Or have I already become digitally transformed, and now can I provide the tools necessary for these companies? So, I mean, like, for example, I've talked to the president of Athabasca University, and I don't know if you guys know Athabasca University. It's like the only university that does online skills training, which is freaking amazing. And she was telling me, she was like, well, we've been in this business for a really, really long time. We've been offering online skills training for so many people for such a long time. How can we take that and go to the next level? So now they're saying, let's use AI. Let's use AI to figure out what are your best skills that you can use to, and then give you the suggestions or the tools that you need to better the skills that you already have. But then you have smaller companies that are like, well, we're a 30 people company. How can I communicate better with the people in my company? I don't even know what tools I need. Do I need to use Microsoft Azure, or do I use Slack? Like, I don't even know how to communicate. So you have these two very different groups of people. And so, with that being said, I'm going to give you two examples of my reporting, and they're more recent. So, and the reason why I'm picking these two is because, again, one, they both have done, one, either they're providing the solutions, or they're trying to get the solutions necessary. So I'm going to start with Huawei, and you guys, I'm sure if you don't know what Huawei is or who it is, it's a telecommunications company based in China, and of course, right now the government is trying to figure out whether they should ban Huawei because, you know, spying and all that. We're not going to talk about that. But I went to China and I actually interviewed the chairman of the company. They have 3 chairmen, so I interviewed one of them. And in our tour that we went to this entire building. By the way, their campus is like freaking crazy. Like, it's massive. It's like 10 times the size of Apple. So they took me to this building and it was called the Digital Transformation Center. And I'm like, okay, what's this now? You're spying on other countries, I know. Just kidding, no. They weren't, probably were, but they didn't tell me that. So they basically took me into different pockets of this building and they were talking to me about the different solutions that they're providing for countries. Sorry, not companies, countries. Like, they want to talk about smart cities. They want to talk about how can we help providing tools and technologies for the gas sector, for the oiling sector, for banking. They're looking at digital transformation at like 20 times ahead of what some of you guys are thinking right now. So you have a company like Huawei that's like looking like way far ahead. And so that's one example that I thought was kind of interesting in terms of where our digital transformation is going. We're thinking of smart cities. You know, in Toronto, you guys must have heard of Sidewalk Labs. They're thinking of having a smart city, and that's sort of where things are progressing in terms of our digital transformation. And then I want to talk about the town of Innisfil. Do you guys know where Innisfil is? Yeah. Okay, good, thank God. Because I didn't. Okay, so I recently learned that the town of Innisfil has adopted the use of cryptocurrency to pay for their property taxes. How do you use cryptocurrency? Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm turning 30, I don't even know how that works. That's like, what? So they're looking at how can they transform this town of 37,000 people into digitally transforming themselves. So it's like this whole other playing field. So their public transit is all Uber. They don't have buses, they don't have subways, they don't have anything. They use Uber as their public transit system. And so they're looking at how can we transform the 66.5% of individuals that are aged 15 to 65, how can we make them all technologically advanced? They have libraries that teach older folks how to use apps. Like, come on, that's kind of cool. That's cool. You guys know, that's cool. I would want that. So I look at it as a journalist, when I'm talking to people, I want to know not only where are you going, but how are you doing it? And I'm looking at all these, I don't want to say the mistakes that people talk about, because, you know, when you're talking about yourself, you love talking about yourself, you love, you know, saying, like, this is how I'm digitally transforming. But I'm thinking of, well, how is this person going to the next level? Or what are you doing to transform your company so that it's interesting to report about? And not using the term, I'm digitally transforming my company. So that's my perspective. Hope you enjoy.